Hey guys, we're back for another week. Hope things are going well. Hopefully the other videos you got the right understanding and did okay on those. Okay, so we're just moving on with rational expressions. Okay, so we're just adding on a little more difficulty. So we'll keep building on this. Now, if you remember, we were doing simplifying sort of these rational fractions, these complex fractions. Okay. The difference is, okay, we didn't have a trinomial on the top and the bottom. So really, we're just adding this extra step. So you have a trinomial on the top, trinomial on the bottom. So actually, what we need to do is create the two parentheses for the top and the bottom. Okay. Now again, some of you are really good at this. This is a challenge. Again, one of the shortcuts, guys, of knowing if you're right or wrong is one of these binomials on the top is going to match one of the binomials on the bottom. I mean, otherwise there'd be nothing good cross out. Because remember, guys, we need a matching binomial on the top and the bottom so that we can cross out something. Otherwise, there'd really be no purpose in doing these problems. Now, again, break apart the x squared, right? X and x. Now, again, 12, remember the third term is positive, so we're looking for the factors of 12 that add up to 7. What multiplies to make 12 that adds up to 7? Again, hopefully this is something that you're coming back to pretty easily. 3 times 4 makes 12. 3 plus 4 makes 7. So 3 and 4. Now remember, if we're trying to add up to a -7, these have to both be negative. Okay? So -3 and -4. Okay, now guys, here is what I'm talking about. Now we're going to try to do the two parentheses for the bottom. Okay, we're going to start x and x. Now look, guys, the third term this time, the 15 is negative. Okay, the 15 is negative. So now we're looking for the third term that subtracts, the factors of the third term that subtracts. Remember, because it's a negative, that makes a 2. Now again, guys, I mean, because we've got a 3 and a 4, we know that we're either going to need a 3 or a 4 down here. Now 4 doesn't go into 15, but we know 3 does, and it obviously is 3 times 5, right? 3 times 5 makes 15. And 3 take away from 5. Because remember, third term's negative. 3 take away from 5 makes 2, so we know it is 3 and 5. Now again, here's another shortcut. I've got a -3 up here, and then I've got a 3 here. For those to cross out, this 3 better be negative. I mean, if this was a positive 3, those wouldn't cross out. So in a way, remember, guys, when the third term's negative, the signs have to be opposite. And then remember, whatever the sign of the middle term is, goes with the larger, so a +2. So the larger, which is the 5, has to be positive, which makes that has to be negative. And boom, there's our match. Okay, so again, now that the x minus 3's match, we can cross those out. And again, the binomial on top over the binomial on the bottom is your answer. Remember, you're not allowed to cross out these x's. Remember, you got to have the whole binomial has to match the whole binomial before you can cross off. Excuse me. So, again, not that different than what we were doing before. It's just you're going to factor twice. Okay, let's look at this other one. Let's do one more together. And then you're going to have one to do on your own. Okay? So, again, we know since both of these are trinomials. Okay, we know that they're both going to be x and x, x and x. Okay, third term is negative, so we're looking for what multiplies to make 32 that subtracts to make 4. So what multiplies to make 32 that subtracts to make 4. Okay. And hopefully you found that before I did, but 4 times 8, right? 4 times 8 makes 32. 4 take away from 8 makes 4. So 4 and 8. Okay? Now again, if you get the signs wrong up here, that's going to mess up what you're trying to look for on the bottom. But what happens is you'll maybe catch mistakes. So let's say you do the signs wrong up here. That's going to kind of mess up down here, and then you'll be like, wait, somewhere it's wrong, and hopefully you can go back and find your mistake. But remember, again, just like that one on the other side over here, the negative in the middle term, -4, has to go with the larger, so the 8 has to be negative. Since I need a -4, the larger has to be negative, which means the smaller then has to be positive. Okay, now here's the thing. This one has a shortcut, but it's not as obvious because, look, 4 goes into 24 and 8 goes into 24. So I know that I either use a 4 and 8, a 4 or an 8. Now what we have is then 4 goes with 6, right? And 8 goes with 3. So it's going to be one of these two because I needed either a 4 or an 8. Now remember, look, your third term, the 24, is positive, so we're trying to add up to 10. 4 and 6 add up to 10. 8 and 3 add up to 11. So it's not 8 and 3. Okay, it's 4 and 6. And then remember, if I'm adding, then both signs are the same as the middle. So again, since I'm going to add up to 10 and it's a positive 10, both positive. Okay, boom. Cross out your 4s. The x plus 4s match. So the x minus 8. Now, as you can see, guys, just like over here, when the final answer, since there's nothing else with it, I can drop that parentheses. So same here, the x minus 8, it's in parentheses here, but I don't need the parentheses anymore because it's by itself, over x plus 6. Okay, and that would be your answer right there. Okay, so x minus 8 over x plus 6, that's our answer. Okay, so there is your problem. Again, just type it in the best you can in the journal. I know it's kind of hard to type in fractions and stuff like that, but do the best you can, and I'll give you credit. Okay? Thanks, guys. See you next time. Bye.